Alright everybody, welcome to Omee versus Oxygen ZVP Gold level players. As you can see here, first game is going to be on Frost. A map that I think we're all fairly familiar with at this point. This is actually a Team Liquid map contest entry, if I remember correctly. Probably the most successful one that come out of that in a while. It's very... Blizzard likes this map. Like, they've talked about it frequently as to one of those things where they're kind of grateful for community interaction. I don't know how much everybody else likes this map, but it's there for what it is. Personally, I think it's okay. I don't have any specific feelings toward it. It is what it is. The other two maps will be new maps, though, so looking forward to that. In the bottom left of the map here on Frost Ladder Edition, it is our pink Zerg. JJ Clan's Omee. And in the bottom right, we have his opponent. In the green and the Protoss pieces, it is Clan XD Oxygen. I am pretty sure that's supposed to be the smiley face version. I don't know if there's actually anybody else in that clan, or because they're like, him and some of our buddies like to come up with fancy little names to use for different clans, and then they'll change them next week. You know, like, you never know what you're gonna see. Hey Trumpet, good to see you in the chat. Okay, so we have, looks like a setup for a fast expand here. Usually this is not the gateway variety. Typically you'll see the gateway placed up here with a pylon. And could be Forge Fast Expand. We'll have to keep an eye on that just to see. There's a couple other things it can be. For example, the fake natural build, where you pretend to get a natural and then build up an army real fast and attack your opponent. That's not the best idea, by the way. It's just a thing that exists and happens every now and again. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, has lost me every game I've ever tried it on. So it's definitely not something I'm going to do. But who knows? Who knows? Omee is a very, very aggressive player. You'll see him get lings and banelings and try to put pressure on his opponent in pretty much every matchup I see him in. Never really see him play passive, and it has got him a lot of success, though. Right now he's trying to go for a very, very early expansion, and Oxygen is doing a very good job of just getting in the way of that, and has decided to finally let him have it after delaying it for about 15 to 20 seconds there. It's pretty nicely done. Back home here, we can see that Oxygen's gone straight up for 16. Supply's going to go to Nexus first and then into the wall off. This may seem like a very risky proposition to do, but since he saw his opponent go for hatchery first, he knows that he can get away with this without too much trouble. Though he does have to be careful about setting up the wall, because if he makes any errors here in the way he does this, he can get lings running around it, and it can be really, really bad. But hopefully we won't see anything like that happen today. To see a good long macro game as Frost can provide is really what I'm hoping for here. But since Omee's playing, you never know. Anyway, guys, let's see if there's anything else I should throw in there. Well, we're killing time and waiting for something interesting to happen, which unfortunately there probably won't be much to comment on until we hit about 30 supply for both players. So until then, I'll tell you a couple interesting things that are features, so to speak, on this channel. Feature number one is, as you can see, unfortunately my internet is not the best in the world. Those of you who are on YouTube have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. The rest of you, if you're normally used to not being able to watch streams on Twitch and you can't watch my stream on Twitch, it's not your internet. There's definitely something else going on. Because this is like pretty much lowest quality you can get away with for this sort of thing. On the other hand, I am able to do some fun stuff. And one of the things I have decided to do is I took the band's word lists and I realized that there's not too many words that I care to ban. So I went ahead and banned random words for fun. By the way, also the normal ban filter's on, so if you type swear words, they are going to be banned. It's not because I have a problem with swearing, it's just because I think it's funny to see people get censored. Yeah, weird person. But if you find any of these words, you'll notice occasionally that some of them will get used. It's kind of entertaining. I'm not going to give any of them away to those of you who haven't found them yet. It's part of the fun. Not all of them were ever found either. One of them, which was a reference to the Twitch Plays Pokemon stuff, was never quite picked up on. And I think one other, what was it? Oh yeah, one really, really, really boring StarCraft term that nobody picked up on just yet. Plonk knockers? Why? Okay. Oh. I'm not going to tell you if you're close or not, if you haven't found one, by the way. Also, if you're using any kind of add-on that blocks any attempts to censor words, you're wasting your time. Just warning you now. So, funny thing about this cannon placement is I'm pretty sure you can actually fit a Ling in right there. And I don't think it can reach that. It might be just a hex off of where it's supposed to be. We'll find out in just a second as a bunch of Lings are going to run forward here and try to break through the wall. Going to discover that there are in fact 2 Zealots there, as well as a Stalker and a Cannon backing that up. This is not an area that Omee can really attack into without really going all in. Not going to do that though, it's just going to gnaw away some rocks for a bit, try to open things up for an engagement later on, and kill some time while we see what he does with this gas that he's been mining. Looks like so far having picked up an additional roughly 200, 300 gas so far, having put that into... where is it going? I'm thinking about this now. I'm actually slightly confused. I know he spent 100 on the spawning pool, and now he's picking up 2 more gases. Okay, and a 3rd. All right, so this is just relatively standard play. He's going to probably get +1/+1, and then maybe either go to Roach Hydra or Muta play from there. We'll have to keep our eye on that and watch. As far as the Protoss is concerned, it's a big gateway build. We have a total of 8 gates here, and you're going to hear a loud screeching noise as I close the door to my room. I've heard that noise scares people. That's why I was just trying to let you know. Anyway, Mothership Core picked up, and Oxygen's just definitely going to try and kill this, kill his Zerg opponent here pretty soon, because if you get on mass gateway tech and then you sit on it, you will not have anything to deal with whatever they do to you in about 4 minutes. So we should see a big warp in here and a move out pretty soon. If not, Omee's going to be in a great position moving forward. No attempt to scout this, it seems, from our Zerg player just yet. Instead, Oxygen's just going to move forward, get some free Lings, and cause Omee to back off. Nicely positioned Overlord here. One moving into position off the bottom left. Needs to run something in there pretty soon, and actually this Overlord has a good chance of scouting this. Oh, Oxygen's moving his army across the map. He's not paying too much attention. Thankfully, Omee wasn't watching, as he might have lost that sentry right then if he had not been careful. Does clean up the rest of the Lings that were hanging out the front of his base. Meanwhile, 4 Zealot, I don't know where I said Ling, but 4 Zealot warp in at the front is able to do a decent amount of damage to the army, but not much more than that. A huge number of Zealots being warped in at the back are going to flank in along with this army at the front. And we'll see how well Omee's able to deal with this. Some Roaches are now coming out. Will it be enough? We'll see. Lots of Zealots coming up from the back. Here comes the rest of the army engaging from the side. And Oxygen has an incredibly good position on this fight. He's going to kill off those Queens really, really quickly here and push the army back up the ramp. At the very least, we'll be able to take care of that 3rd base. Really wants to probably do just a little bit more damage than just that, though. Because again, he does not really have the ability to get more tech from here, and as you can see, he's just warping in more and more units. So Oxygen's pretty much saying that with his build at the moment that he really wants to just kill his opponent with this, and I think he can probably make that happen. He's got rid of the hatchery. He's going to cut into his opponent's production pretty hard. Thankfully, there's still a macro hatch up here, so Omee can actually still spend all of his money. He is badly supply blocked, though, and that may end up being the most important tail here. It looks like Oxygen is going to stay there and poke at the larva for a bit before moving up. Here he comes up here. Here's the engagement. Good time warp actually at the front of the army here is going to make wrapping around it quite difficult. Zealots are in position to do a decent amount of damage, doing some good tanking for the Stalkers at the back, and he's pushing Omee back into the center of his base here. Unfortunately, Oxygen's not paying too much attention. The Zealots are getting picked off one by one, and the Stalkers are not helping out with this. He needs to warp in some more units. There we go. That would explain the lapse of concentration for just a moment there. Nice positioning here from Omee. But unfortunately, his Lings aren't going to be able to do too much here. Whoa, Oxygen almost helping him out a little bit by letting the rest of them through for a second. He's trying to move in to engage here. Once again, the Zealots are actually engaging. They're separate from the rest of the army. He's killed yet another Queen And that is probably going to be what really cuts into the production here. Unfortunately, yeah, there just isn't the supply space to really warp in much, and Omee has been axed off in game number 1.